Hi, my name is Khadija Diallo, and I'm going to be reading to you Fair Punishment Under the Law, which touches on racial inequality and racial profiling. Oftentimes in the United States, African Americans are seen as the savage villains. Meanwhile, Caucasians are seen as the mentally ill patients in society we should feel sorry for. Cases like this have appeared since slavery. African Americans are constantly being subjected to racial injustice. They should not have to continuously face situations like this in the year 2019 and the many years going forward. The Jim Crow laws of the 1870s played a large role in the systematic oppression faced by minorities today. The term Jim Crow was a disrespectful slang term of a man of color during this time period. Jim Crow laws were used for any state laws passed in the South that built up distinctive rules for blacks and whites. These laws were based on the idea that white people are superior in race to any other race. Jim Crow laws affected every aspect of African American life. Many manufacturing companies and companies in general were not allowed to hire black people. The thought was to exclude them. Some southern states also wouldn't allow African Americans and Caucasian workers to work in the same environment or even enter the same insurance. With the influences of the Depression during the 1890s, prejudice appealed to whites who dreaded losing their employments to black. Many cases, including the racism and unfair treatment of blacks, include cases like the Martin versus Zimmerman case, in which an unarmed teenager was shot to death without good reason, as there is never a reason to shoot an unarmed person posing no threat. Another case is the shooting of Alton Sterling, where a 37-year-old black man was shot several times at close range while held down on the ground by two white Baton Rouge police officers. The two criminals in these cases weren't charged in any shape or form. They faced no charges whatsoever. However, the opposite outcome occurs when roles are reversed. These cases in which African Americans are served no justice are becoming sickening to say the least. It's all too conventional. The murder of any human being, regardless of race, should be considered a taboo, not the norm. American people must stray away from this mindset and way of thinking. The punishment for someone possessing of illegal marijuana should not exceed or be equivalent to the prison sentencing of a rapist or killer. African Americans deserve equal punishment under the law. In May of 2017, rapper DeQuantus Lamar, also known as Rich Homie Quan, was arrested for marijuana possession and was to face up to 30 years in prison. 30 years are far more than any time given to the suspects in murder of a black man. Cannabis ownership is one of the single biggest causes of arrest classification in the United States, representing more than 5% of all captures in the year 2017. More than 1 out of 20 arrests include a charge on cannabis ownership. Statistics have proven that more people have been arrested for cannabis than murder, rape, aggravated assault, and robbery combined. Permanently stripping a person of their chance at life and a family's opportunity to live their lifetime with their child may be seen as incomparable to the use of drugs that provides you a temporary high. Cases like these are also common in Michelle Alexander's New Jim Crow as she speaks about the mass incarceration of many and the enslavement that coincides with it. African American stereotypes also contribute to oppression. A few of the stereotypes targeted at blacks consist of extreme anger, loudness, and thievery. Because these thoughts surround the minds of many in society who have been raised this way, black minorities are subjected to discrimination in many instances. Discrimination takes place in high-end boutiques, fancy restaurants, or even local beauty supply stores. Sales associates are sometimes even instructed to watch closely at black customers to ensure they are not stealing from their establishments. In a New York Times article, Riley Lockett told readers of his encounter with the police officer and how his mother has been preparing him from the moment since he was a child. Other races may not feel the need to do this, but some black parents feel it is a necessity. So many black men and women are targeted by police simply because of their skin color, and it gives parents and children a sense of readiness for the day they may have their encounter with police. An encounter with police has become something you have to train for throughout your childhood. Police should be conscious of keeping all people safe instead of excluding African Americans. Lastly, there is a benefit of white privilege. White privilege is defined as societal benefits that benefit people whose society identifies as white. The privileges are beyond what is commonly experienced by non-white people under this economic circumstance. According to Arlie Russell's Strangers in Their Own Land novel, white people view their privilege as natural and invisible. To start with, it furnishes white individuals with advantages that could not be acquired otherwise, and that ethnic minorities are not eligible for. Second, it creates genuine opportunities for them regardless of economic status. White individuals are invulnerable to a considerable measure of difficulties. At last, the greater benefit of whites in the United States and other countries shape the world in which we live. White privilege is a focal point in court decisions. As stated earlier, many Caucasian males that have committed severe crimes in which there is even video evidence present can face no repercussions due to white privilege. Because a black man or person of color does not possess this white privilege, they would generally face the consequences of being black in America. White privilege does not always have to take these extremes. White privilege can be something as simple as going to the store or pick up some hair care products and having the shampoo or conditioner work perfectly for your hair. Meanwhile, African Americans have to refer to the section entitled ethnic products. You may also find yourself in a hotel where you are given complimentary shampoo and it only works for certain hair types. One more instance where white privilege is less severe is when trying to purchase your skin toning products such as makeup or pantyhose, but the colors are only meant for those of fair skin types. In conclusion, African Americans still face a lot of animosity and prejudice today. Blacks are incarcerated for longer sentences than whites for either equal or less serious crimes. Stereotyping black people also contributes to unequal treatment in the social setting. White privilege allows whites to be treated better than other races in all settings and allows them with an overall head start at life. In conclusion, the argument that all races should receive equal punishment under the law remains valid.